Right. So, as far as generative AI is concerned, in context to the business analyst role, today I'm going to explain you what are the different key concepts uh, generally that we cover as part of generative AI or covering as part of generative AI. What am I covering? Followed by the applications, what kind of responsibilities, all that. When it comes to the generative AI, I already given a detailed overview about generative AI business analyst in earlier. Now, I'm going to explain you the detailed part of what are all the responsibilities and what are normally I'm covering part of this form, generative FRBE. So this is about the foundation understanding. First, as a entrant, we must be knowing about the foundation understanding, wherein we must be knowing about basics of generative AI, especially from the non-technical point of view. The reason why I mentioned because many people I could see, some people were coming from IT, some people even are transforming their roles from non-IT as well. So non-technical understanding from the generative AI point of view or basics are needed. So that's the reason that is important. Of course, and anyway, technical people understands, but people who are not from the technical background, so that make sure they should able to know this well. Right. So basics of generative AI is important. Next, we must be knowing about the difference between generative AI and traditional AI, because generative AI is where majorly we focusing on the patterns, right? So what are the algorithms that we have, right? So what are the different models do we have, all that. But the traditional AI where we are using software boards in the old, because it's there for a couple of years since we are using different software boards to automate the process and all. So we must be knowing about the difference between generative AI to traditional AI. Next one about the key generative AI models, either it can be GPT or it can be diffusion, GANs or VAN. So for GAN, if I'm not wrong, I made a video, you can watch it. So key generative AI models is also uh, something which we need to talk. Next about the life cycle anyway that you are aware of, right? So generative AI life cycle about the data, about the training, deployment, feedback. So this life cycle should also be aware of. This is the foundational understanding one should be good with. Now, from the business analyst point of view, there must be some scenario, because as in when I could see based on my inquiry that I received from different people in regular intervals, what I could understand, the people are coming from different professional and domain expertises. So some people come from insurance, some people come from manufacturing, some people come from banking, healthcare, all that. So that's the reason why I'm taking some use cases. So a couple of use cases I'm taking. Right? These are the examples of use cases I'm giving here. But of course, all the use cases are not related for everyone. For example, people are coming from insurance and banking. Use cases are different. From healthcare, the use cases can be of something different because it must matches to their domain when they are transforming to generative AI. So insurance and banking, the basic use cases like either it can be document processing, it can be fraud detection, claim summarization. This is all from insurance and banking side. When it comes to the patient healthcare point of view, patient record summarizations or any kind of clinical note generations or any drug discoveries, everything will be part of healthcare. Next, when it comes to the retail and e-commerce and all that, whatever the recommendations, content automation, right? So whatever we present to the customers to pay on to bill to buy online. So customers automation. All these things will be part of retail and e-commerce. Next, telecom domain, one of the prominent domain now and then even many people are required, right? So because of course I made a telecom domain based video, right? So earlier, right? So you can watch it even, right? So there we must be knowing about how customer support chatbot works, right? So how the troubleshooting guides, all these things will be comes under the telecom part. When it comes to the HR and operations and all, whatever resume screening, job descriptions, policy drafting, even providing offer letters. Everything can be generated using generative AI. That's how even HR functionalities were also transforming, right? So they are transforming to an extent possible where it itself will generate all automatically the relieving letters or any joining letters, any resume screening. Everything can be done with generative AI only. That's how the transformation is happening. So these are the relevant use cases which are relating to BA, which subject to, as I mentioned here, again repeating the same, subject to the domain expertise that individual belongs to, this will vary because all these case studies for one individual may not be relevant. Depends on the professional experience that we carry. As I am, for example, an individual is from insurance side, uh, working as a business analyst, transforming into generative AI, or insurance person working in insurance sector, transforming into BA with AI, generative AI. So insurance related case studies are more relevant and more important. That is what this is all about. Next, when it comes to the business process integration, as a BA, the one of the major understanding for us to know about the business process integration, wherein we need to identify the opportunities, automation opportunities. At the same time, we should support team to map AI features to user stories and requirements because writing user stories and requirements in form of agile and all, we are using Jira, etc. Right. So we have to map artificial intelligence features to user stories and requirements. That can be one. Next, we should integrate with some enterprise systems, either it can be CRM, ERP, or any kind of guideware or service now integration with enterprise systems. But practically, there is a limitation for this. I must tell you this on record because these are all external systems, right? So CRM, ERP, or guideware service now. As far as learning is concerned, there is a limitation for that, right? So because practically it won't be because for integration you must be knowing about RESTful API, right? So XML, all that. So that will be covered. But practical understanding or integration with ERP will be difficult because it happens in the live environment. From the learning perspective, there are limitations. I hope you understood. I must tell you this before, right? So next, evaluating return of investment and cost benefit analysis even. That can be done, right? So because as a BA, we should understand return of investment, what customer is expecting, what return of investment we have to provide for them, followed by cost benefit analysis. Everything will be part of this one. Next, of course, AI driven process of reengineering. This is also one of the key important elements. So these are, as a BA, when it comes to the business process integration is concerned, this is what we must be good and familiar with. Now, when it comes to the skills and responsibilities of a BA from generative AI projects, means transformation, these are the skills and responsibilities we can see. One is about requirement gathering for artificial intelligence features is one of the thing. What and how this can be done will be detailed. Next, we should collaborate with data scientists and data development team, wherein at the same time we need to define the acceptance criteria. When we have written a user story, we have to write acceptance criteria as well. So defining acceptance criteria for AI outputs, understanding about artificial intelligence performance metrics on a high level note. Okay, how, because let's say we are working on HR process where for offer letter generations, all that we are doing, right? So how these automation process is providing us the performance, how accurate are these? How fast are these? The performance metrics. There are different performance metrics that are to be understood here. This is all something, one of the responsibility as a skill set as a BA we must be good with. Next, chain management stakeholder communication is one of the common as a BA that we do, so that we'll be knowing. Next, one of the important thing about writing the business case, use case. This is more important because as a role for a BA, if you see, many people come from come with good communication skills, nothing right. But end of the day, how you present your business case, right? So how you are documenting for AI adoption, that is more important. How you are presenting it is more important. That is something that you must be having that skill set. That's the reason why I have taken the case studies. If you see if you remember, right? So sometime back I explained you about the use cases. Also, there must be some scenarios you must be knowing because BA is all about scenario-based learning. So we must able in a position to write business use cases. So for that, whatever the case studies, use cases that I have taken, few of the use cases will be taken so that business cases will be generated on that. That's more important. One of the key skill set that we need to do. Next, what are the risk and compliances and ethics, right? So majorly for AI related part, managing ethical risks about bias and misinformation, or it can any kind of vendor evaluation and compliance checklist, any data privacy, or AI transparency, right? So, or any regulatory compliance, something like GDPR or HIPAA, right? So, these are the risk and compliances and ethics which will be in general. This is nothing to do with AI, as I'm saying. How you are interrelating and how you are interrelating with context to the AI part is something that we must be good with. That is what something we must learn even. Next, when it comes to the future, because many people asks me, even in my training sessions, many people I see like what will be the future outlook for BA with generative AI. Many people, it's a common question. That's the reason why I'm showing this and presenting this because, of course, the business analyst roles will remain intact irrespective of technology the domain. We must be. I don't say that 100% there won't be any transformation will be taken place in future, but some regular processes that we do within the organization will be transformed into generative AI, artificial intelligence. So I don't say 100% transformations will happen. Some business processes, maybe loan processing management or some insurance claims related stuff or any document verifications kind of. These kind of processes will be automated. So as a BA, we are relating to that kind of projects and all. Then you must be required some generative AI need. That is the case, right? So 100% I don't say, but learning new technology or learning new skills for any professional career now and then is more important. On that context, if you see, it's important even in future by considering the future needs, etc. So it's always advisable to have a knowledge over AI, ML, generative AI, all that. So this is all important. So role of a BA because to drive towards understanding over the product strategy, this AI-driven based is more important. For example, when we are working on some product-based companies or product-based projects and all that stuff. So AI-driven product strategy, because when we are working on product development and product management side, all that. So understanding over this product strategy is more important. Uh, so majorly when we are working on product-based projects, right? Product management system, many products that we develop, right? So either it can be CRM, ERP, it can be manufacturing, it can be telecom, it can be banking, insurance, healthcare, right? So different products. So understand over the product strategy, AI-driven can be adopted. That's where a BA can be used in this AI-driven. So that in that future outlook, in that context, it is more useful. Next, prompt engineering as a BA skill set is more important. I presented that video also. So whichever the relevant videos that I've already posted in my channel, I'll give the link description below to this video so that you can see because even for prompt engineering, I have created even. So prompt engineering as a BA skill set, we must be knowledgeable with. Okay, so what prompt engineering and all that detailing I have given in that video, you can go through that whenever you get time. Next, working with multi-models, like whether it can be text or image or videos, right? So how this can be transformed. So that sort of understanding for that even be required in future. Next, human in loop workflows, in the loop workflows. It is a common, right? So because uh, replacing human in some parts of the business activities, AI transformation we are doing. I don't say 100% even now, because as far as my experience is concerned, I see 100% transformation may not be. But some processes which are in regular intervals, as I told you, for example, you want to do the document verifications or generating some offer letters or screening the resumes. Right? Some general regular day-to-day activities can be transformed into AI. That's how even companies, as far as my understanding is concerned, even companies were also looking for. So that level of transformation will happen. Okay, that replacement will be taken place in future. I don't say 100%. Right. So human brain cannot be replaced. That's my personal belief. Right. So 100% human brain will go, yeah, which is eternal. Right. So human loop in workflows is also one of the thing. But some supportive processes and all we are using AI. Next, generative AI for decision supports and analytics. We further purpose also, because if you want to take some decision or if you want to create any kind of analytical reports and all. So for that, you must be having some support over the generative AI concept. So by considering the future uh, into consideration, future outlook into consideration as a BA, on these grounds, business analyst may require this adoption, this Gen AI adoption may become important. In some conditions, it become mandatory also, right? So that depends on the future conditions and all. It may vary. We cannot say everything is important. So it may important sometimes. It may even mandatory also. So this is the overall thing which I am covering. This is what the overall understanding of Gen AI part. And these relevant videos, as I mentioned in the middle of the video, that those parts, those links, those video links, will be provided in the description below so that you can watch, so that you get some idea about that.